Very latest, senior meteorologist Kristi Gordon is here with more on what we need to know about the timing of this, Kristi. Bad timing for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, Sophie, this is our Christmas storm, and it is massive, and it really will impact all of the province at some point tomorrow. But really, the focus of the intensity is across the south coast, where we have wind warnings in effect. So these are going to develop through the morning hours and be strongest in the late morning, afternoon, and evening hours. Gusts up to 120 kilometers an hour on the outer coast and up to 100 kilometers an hour along the inner coast. Metro Vancouver, we're talking about 90 kilometer an hour, mainly along coastal regions. Nonetheless, power outages certainly a concern, especially considering a lot of people will be cooking turkey. And of course, we're going to see delays in travel because of the wind and the rainfall. The rain is going to be most intense through the morning hours across Vancouver Island, reduced visibility on the roads, pooling water on the roads, and it will become intense across Metro Vancouver in the afternoon. This rainfall is going to last right into Boxing Day, where we could see 100+ millimeters of rain across the North Shore and the outer coast of Vancouver Island. Now, Sophie, temperatures are also going to drop tomorrow, and there's actually a possibility of some wet snow in parts of Metro Vancouver. I'll show you which when I come back.
Okay, thank you, Kristi. All right, let's bring Kristi Gordon in now with a look at our weather forecast. Kristi, last night I heard that wind start howling, late in the evening, and not as bad as the last time, though, I found.
Yeah, and the focus of the strength of this first storm number one, was really on the central coast, and this is indicative of the 165 kilometer an hour gust that was reported at Sartine Island. So that's like a Category 2 hurricane. Meanwhile, for our region, yeah, it was gusty for sure, but not like we've seen in the past. Tomorrow's storm will be very different. We are anticipating stronger winds across much of the south coast, including Metro Vancouver, where these are southeasterly winds through the Strait of Georgia. No wonder there's cancellations with the ferries and then the outer coast as well. Now, in terms of winds as well, we're expecting gusts up to 70, maybe 80 kilometers an hour in the central interior, Caribou region, Chilcotin region, and potentially down into the Okanagan Valley. So it's not just the south coast that's going to be impacted, although that's where the focus of the warnings are. Here's a look at the rainfall that will shift in. Heavy rain along coastal regions, and we're talking about snowfall for the mountain passes throughout the day tomorrow and into Boxing Day as well. Now, in the afternoon in Metro Vancouver, the freezing levels are going to drop for a brief period, or could at least, with the rain intensity. So we could see some wet snow above 300 meters in the afternoon tomorrow. So it could be slushy as well as wet and windy across the region. In the meantime, we're talking about not many people expecting a white Christmas, Sophie. There may be a white Christmas in Revelstoke, Nelson, Castlegar, most other areas too mild for that, including our region. So wet and windy tomorrow. We're anticipating the winds to die down throughout Boxing Day, but the rain will continue in the morning. I think the next period of more intense storm will be on Friday now, and then we'll continue to see one thing after another, it looks like, as we head into the weekend. In the meantime, right now, Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope that you manage to survive the storm fairly well tomorrow in terms of everyone's turkey dinner. Now, Dan Walsh captured this photo from not too long ago when we had a storm in the Port Alberni area, and so I thought I would share it because, yes, this may well be what it looks like tomorrow. Sophie, back to you.
I feel like it's a Hitchcock movie.
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
All right, thanks, Kristi. Get ready for what's expected to be a very wet and windy Christmas day. Senior meteorologist Kristi Gordon joins us now with more. Kristi, there are wind and rainfall warnings. Power outages are expected. What do we need to know about storm number 2?
Well, Sophie, this is the massive storm, a Christmas storm that is really going to impact many parts of the province at some point tomorrow. But the focus of the intensity really will be along coastal regions. North coast could see gusts up to 140 kilometers an hour once again. But these are the winds anticipated across the south coast. Gusts up to 120 for the outer coast of Vancouver Island, 100 kilometer an hour gusts for much of the inland regions. Now, Metro Vancouver, coastal regions from West Vancouver right down to Tsawwassen could see gusts up to 90 kilometers an hour. So as you mentioned, power outages concerned because a lot of people will be cooking turkey dinners, but it also comes with heavy rain. In the morning, the heavy rain will be across Vancouver Island. It shifts to South Vancouver Island and Metro Vancouver in the afternoon, and that's when we could see pooling water on the roads and reduced visibility, causing problems for traffic. And we could see anywhere from 100 to 100 plus millimeters of rainfall along the North Shore, Coquitlam, Maple coastal ridge and the outer coast of Vancouver Island by the time it's all said and done about midday on Boxing Day. Now, in addition to that, Sophie, we are going to see cooler temperatures tomorrow. There is a chance for some wet snow over higher elevations of Metro Vancouver, and I'll show you when I come back.
All right, thanks, Kristi. All right, let's bring Kristi back in now for a look at our Christmas Day forecast, and we've got that storm coming, Kristi.
We sure do, Sophie. It was nice to have a bit of a break in the action today, wasn't it? I just want to quickly highlight the winds that we saw last night from storm number 1. Look at the northwest corner of Vancouver Island. Gusts up to 165 kilometers an hour. That's a Category 2 hurricane strength wind. So incredible winds. Thankfully, it was mostly just overnight. This is what we're anticipating tomorrow. Again, outer coast of Vancouver Island, 100 kilometer an hour winds through the Strait of Georgia. Metro Vancouver, about 90 kilometer an hour winds. These are going to develop in the morning, be strongest late morning, afternoon, and into the evening. And for the north coast, we're talking about 140 kilometer an hour winds. It will also be windy in the interior, just not warning criteria, but you could see gusts up to 70 or 80 kilometers an hour in the Caribou, central interior to Colton, and even down towards the Okanagan region. Rainfall shifting in tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a wet, windy day all across coastal regions with the most intense rainfall for Metro Vancouver in the afternoon. And with intense rainfall, we can sometimes get a drop in freezing levels. So there's a possibility tomorrow afternoon that we could see some wet snow above 300 meters. Certainly, we're anticipating wet snow or snow and blowing snow all across the mountain passes. So if you're traveling tomorrow, anticipate winter driving, and that continues into Boxing Day as well. Even though on Boxing Day, we're anticipating the winds to start to die down, but the rain will continue, as will the snow in the interior regions. In the meantime, not many areas will likely see a white Christmas. There's a chance in Revelstoke over towards Nelson, Castlegar, but that's about it. Most other areas too mild for that, with wind and rain across coastal regions. Cooler than what we saw today with a high of only 7 degrees Christmas Day. Boxing Day, we will see majority of the rain in the morning. We may see breaks later on. The next chance for wet, windy conditions will be on Friday. Tonight's Central Windows weather window is coming to you from Port Alberni, where Dan Walsh captured this photo when there was a storm not too long ago, and it's very similar to probably what we'll see tomorrow. And what was the movie that you were saying this reminds you of?
The Birds.
So that's right.
Hitchcock.
It's a Hitchcock movie.
Feeling not like it's a great picture. Not super Christmassy, but
no.
That'd be better for
Stormy is what I
Halloween.
was
hey,
trying to
that's
get
more
from
my
this
style
one.
anyway.
Yeah, that's more of a Halloween picture.
It's yeah, that's a little terrifying.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm getting the easy bake. Squire already ruined the surprise, but that's okay.
Well,
What's on the top of your list?
Who's that?
Kristi.
Kristi, what's on top of your list? Yes.
Sorry. From Santa?
Yeah.
Well, I honestly just would like some smiles in the morning.
Oh.
And no whining. Is that too
from the
much to ask
kids.
for?
From the kids.
Wow.
And Squire?
What would I like?
Yeah.
How about a light bright?
Oh, light bright. That's
Hey, that's a good one.
all right.
Entertain yourself for hours.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Thanks for joining us all on Merry Christmas. There's Santa.